So you're having knee pain while running and you want to know why. My first question as a doctor of physical therapy is going to be, where are you having that knee pain? Is it in the front? Is it on the inside, on the outside, or in the back of your knee? Because where you're having that knee pain is going to tell me about what is causing it. I'm Dr. Christina, the Picky PT, and I want to talk to you today about what your knee pain could be telling you while running, and 3 exercises that you could be doing as a runner or a walker to prevent that knee pain based on where it is. If you like to learn information about taking care of your body while you're doing everyday activities like running or walking, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you can never miss out on some instructional videos and free education from me. So, like I said, when you're running, it depends on where you're having that knee pain if you're having it while you are doing activity. If it's in the front of your knee and especially below your kneecap, that's often a sign that you are overusing your quadricep muscles and not using enough of your posterior chain while you're moving forward. If the knee pain is on the inside or the outside, that could be coming from your foot or your hip, having instability, falling in or falling out as you're moving forward. If the knee pain is in the back, then this could be an overuse of your hamstring muscles, and so we need to work on that specifically instead. With the pain in the front of your knee, I'm often going to try to get you to do exercises that are going to get you to use more of your posterior chain, your glute, your hamstring, your calf muscles, so that way you're not overusing these front muscles as you propel yourself forward. If the pain is on the inside or the outside, I'm going to want to work on stability of your whole chain of your leg. And like I said, that could include your foot or your hip. So when you're moving forward, if you're landing on more the outside of your foot, that can strain your knee and make it move towards the outside. If you're landing and you're rolling into the inside of your foot too quickly, that can allow your knee to fall in and strain the inside of your knee. The same is true for your hip. As you step onto that leg, if your hip is collapsing out, or if you're leaning over that hip to keep it from collapsing, this is going to affect how your knee is in alignment with the rest of your body. So we're gonna wanna work on stability of the whole chain from the foot to the knee to the hip, all the way up. So as you land, you're landing with a nice stable chain versus landing with a wonky chain and causing strains in those knees. Lastly, I do see a lot of runners who are told that the way to speed up their running or the way to decrease knee pain is to worry about picking up their feet more as they're running. So you'll see them running or walking and it looks like they're kicking their butt the whole time. This is fine, but if it starts to cause you issues in the back of your knee, your body's telling you you're using too much of those hamstrings and you need to start using more of your glutes and your calves to propel forward versus overusing those hamstrings. So like I said, if you're having knee pain in the front of your knee and it's especially below your kneecap, then you might be overusing your quadricep muscles as you are running or walking. So to work on using your posterior chain, your glutes, your hamstrings, your calves, we're gonna do step ups rather than doing something like squatting or lunging, okay? And you can use something like regular stairs or you can use a bench at the park. Now keep in mind, the higher the surface that you're stepping up on, the harder this exercise is gonna be. So you wanna start off with doing something like this on like 2 inches, then build to 4 inches, 6 inches is the average step of a stair height. And then this is probably gonna be more like 14 inches if I'm just eyeballing it, right? So we're gonna start our step up with our feet in neutral, okay? Always important to start with feet in neutral. You don't want them turned out at all, including your back foot, all right? You also want to make sure that your pelvis is square. So you don't want to be rotated a little bit one way or the other. You want your pelvis, these 2 bones in the front that I've sometimes referred to as your headlights, all right? You want to keep those headlights facing straight forward in the direction of your knee and foot. Then what we're gonna do is we're going to, because this is a very tall height, I am going to rise up onto my back toes just to get me a little bit taller as I do this, all right? I'm gonna lean forward over my leg so that I open up my glutes because a muscle contracts harder and better when it is fully stretched and then you fully contract it, okay? So we're gonna lean forward, up on the back toes, and we're going to think about using our glutes to rise up. All right, so pulling through those glutes and hamstring, tucking under to step up, versus what I do not want to see you do is I don't want to see you straighten your knee and then your hip is still bent over, all right? That's an easy way to tell that you're not doing this correctly. If your knee is fully straight and you are still bent over, then you did not use your glutes enough, all right? So again, up on the back toes, leaning forward by opening those glutes. Notice when I leaned forward, my knee did not go forward as I leaned forward. My leg actually went backwards as I leaned forward, all right? And then squeezing that bottom to pull you forward. And my knee is still a little bit bent. It never fully locked out, all right? And that's one way to make sure that I'm not using my quadricep muscles too much. From the front view, you wanna make sure that as you're stepping up, you are not allowing your knee to fall in, okay? That's gonna strain the inside of your knee. You're also not letting your knee fall out, all right? That's gonna strain the outside of your knee. So feet are square, pelvis is square, dragging that leg back as you lean forward, squeeze your bottom and pull yourself up, all right? Lastly, you wanna make sure that you've got equal weight in your entire foot, so you don't want your foot going out to the side or on the inside as you're stepping up. You wanna try to have your foot as flat as possible, because if my weight is all the way on the outside of the foot, where does my knee go? If my weight's all the way on the inside of my foot, where does my knee go, right? So equal weight throughout the entire thing, that way your knee stays in line with your foot. So if you've been doing hip hikes as an exercise, because I suggested that you did as a runner or walker, but you feel like you're ready for the next level or you want a different challenge, airplanes are an excellent way to work on stability of your whole chain, including your foot and your hip. So you're gonna stand on one leg again, like we did before, and you can either prop your other leg up onto your toes, or you can use a surface like a tree or a countertop to balance with, okay? You're going to do your best to spread your toes out as you're standing here. Press your big toe down so you're supporting your arch. And then you're going to pull that hip underneath you like we did with a hip hike, but you're gonna continue to pull it underneath you as you rotate up. And then you're going to rotate down, sitting your hips straight back and opening your glute back here, okay? So we rotate up and we rotate down. Notice that as I'm doing this, I am not rotating up and leaning into it or rotating up and leaning away from it. I'm staying right on top of my leg as I do that rotation up. And then as I come down, I am not letting my hip drop to the side as I come down. I am instead opening up my glutes directly backwards as I rotate down so that my leg still stays in alignment, okay? Again, like I said, spreading those toes and pressing through that big toe to support your arch is going to give you a more stable base. Now, I'm kind of on an uneven surface here with the mulch in the ground, so it's kind of throwing me off. But if you were on an even surface like concrete, that can make this a little easier, where you can balance with one foot down for balance here, almost like a little tripod. And then you can watch your legs and see them shearing side to side as you do this, versus seeing the legs spread out this way or come in this way. You want to see these two legs staying parallel to each other as you do this. Or you can do it single leg with nothing used for balance if you're ready for a real challenge. So that airplane would now look like this, where you're rotating up and then you're rotating down. And you're rotating up and you're rotating down. One last cue, try not to claw with your toes as you're doing this. Keep them nice and spread, so that way you're getting foot strengthening, hip strengthening, and knee stability as you do this. If you're doing it correctly, you should feel work in the arch of your foot, in the outside of your hip, and each time that you rotate down, you should feel your glute opening on this side as you rotate down each time. So lastly, if we need to work on the eccentric strength of your hamstrings, again, that means how quickly you lengthen your hamstrings. If you know that when you walk or run, you tend to snap those legs forward as you're moving forward and you're having pain behind your leg, that means you're lacking eccentric control. So we're gonna do modified RDLs, so modified Romanian deadlifts, in order to work on this, okay? So it's modified because we're not gonna be doing two legs. We're gonna do this on one leg. We're gonna prop the other one up on our toes, And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna engage our feet, all right? Spread those toes, press through the big toe. We're gonna pull that hip underneath us, hips square, okay? We're gonna hinge over from our hips, not rounding from our back, not bending our knee. The knee can be soft, but we're gonna hinge mostly from the hip, opening up the glute of your standing leg. And so you're gonna keep lowering until you feel a pull in your hamstring. Once you feel that, you're then going to think about tucking your core in, pulling your pubic bone to your belly button, and tucking your sit bone down towards your heel, pulling in with the core, tucking that the sit bone down towards your heel, and that is going to complete you coming up from your modified RDL, okay? From the side, what that looks like is, again, toes spread, big toe pressing down, so you're supporting your arch, pelvis square. We're gonna hinge from the hips with a soft knee. So I'm gonna keep opening backwards as I bend over. I'm not gonna keep myself tucked under like this because then you're not lengthening your hamstring. I'm gonna reach my sit bone back as I bend over further until I feel a pull in my hamstring. And then to come up, I'm gonna pull pubic bone to belly button, tuck that sit bone down towards my heel and use both of them together to come back up. This is gonna work on the eccentric strength of your hamstring. So when you're running or walking, as you move forward, you'll keep a soft bend in your knee and not over snap it each time.